Start.
So which topic?
Start.
Every student should have to practice in front of the camera, because if they practice in the front of the camera, their nervousness will be get down, and their English fluency will be get developed. And if they speak English continuously in front of the camera, their that time they have to maintain their
Today, I have already given a kinds of topic to all of you that students have to speak in front of the camera. So, do you feel comfortable or not? What is your view? You have to come here and have to express your opinion regarding that particular concept topic. The students have to perform their speech in front of the camera. So, what's your opinion? Do you like or not? And does it have any kinds of plus point or negative side? You have to express your views standing in front of the camera. Ready? Start.
It is uncomfortable for beginners to perform to speak
Raise your hello.
speak English in front of camera. But he practice in front of camera to speak English in front of camera, he will be very much comfortable, and will and it and it will be very much comfortable to speak English in front of camera. And it and if a beginner start his start his spoken English in front of camera, he can feel nervous.
Start.
That when we speak in front of the camera, that time our nervousness have came down, and we can talk in the camera. So when we don't know how to talk, that time yes.
Good evening, my dear students. Today, I would like to give a kind of good impressions, good idea regarding that kind of topic is that it's true that there are some of the students that who have the power to speak enormously. He didn't feel any kind of nervousness, but whenever the camera light focuses on him, then he feels tremendously problem. He couldn't able to understand that what should be told. So therefore, it's creating lots of disturbance for those kinds of students. So, but my advice for those students that if he practices the speaking in front of the camera, then it will be very good for him. Kumkum, you have to be very ready when I tell start, then you have to start. Okay, so camera light focus on start.
First I feel nervous to told in front of camera, but I practice in our house. I practice in our house. I stand in front of mirror and told English language. So thereafter I possible to told in front of camera. So I don't feel any nervousness.
When I tell you to start, you should have to start. So wait for few seconds. Now your time is already ready. Now start.
First, I get nervousness because I not prepare the English properly. Then in my home, I practice many times. I am standing in front of mirror and I am practicing the English. Then by telling my English was properly done.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
I give you one message to each and every student who are sitting here for performance. The message is very important. Though at the initial period of the time, speaking in front of the camera would be looking very uneasy for you. But yet, I advise to all of you that though you feel nervous, but you stand in front of the camera and trying to perform it. And try to perform it. First initial period of the time, you have to face failure. But you will face failure. I do believe, but don't care for that. You repeatedly try. I think that you would obviously get success. You would strive to success. So therefore, though initial period of the time you fail, but yet you have to try. Okay, because hard labor is the key to success. There's nothing kind of alternative. So follow the advice whatever I telling to you. Thank you.
First, I will nervous. I cannot front in a camera. Then I practice in home with my father, and I can easily talk in English in of front of
Camera.
camera. Mm,
Thank you. Start.
So first time when the beginners stand front of the camera, they feel so nervousness, and they feel that I cannot be tell English in the front of camera.
I cannot tell.
I cannot tell English in front of camera because they feel so scared. After a long time, when their confidence came to tell English front of camera, then their fluency came, and they can tell English in front of camera. So I think that if anyone tell in the front of camera, then their fluency will be good, and they can be tell English fluently.
Okay. Good evening. One more message to each and every students. I generally come to give you a kind of message for motivation. This message is obviously a kind of motivations to all of you, especially the special motivations for those kinds of students. There are some of the students are sitting here who thinking a kind of panic in their mind that if they speak in front of the camera, then they cannot able to perform it. But forget about all kinds of I think Nava's point or the weak point. You come here. Maybe initial period of the time you get fail, but yet you try. Then I think that one time after getting fail for repeated time, one time will surely come to your life that you can able to succeed. You can able to you will succeed. You don't have any kinds of problem to speak. Thank you. As you know, it is uncomfortable and difficult for beginners to speak English in front of camera. In front of camera, the beginners should read English book to increases his her vocabulary to speak English better in front of camera. And there is also a point of nervousness if a point of nervousness is in front of camera, and it is difficult for speaking. Okay. So, if a pro beginner practice in front of a camera, practices in front of the camera, or practice in the house in front of a mirror, he can easily get a good score in his English speaking, and he can get a fluency in English speaking. He can speak English very fast, like he speak Bengali or Hindi, his mother tongue, and if